Hi, and good afternoon, Lake Roosevelt staff. This is Kirk Marshland, principal. I'm going to be going over the student grading updates sent out by OSPI in the last couple days. So some guidance from OSPI for student grading is that first and foremost, we're to do no harm. Whatever grade they earned at the end of third quarter, they cannot get any worse than that. They can only go up. No student will receive a pass, fail, or no credit grade of any course. Teachers will assign grades or assign an incomplete for students that cannot engage in an equitable way. However, Fs will not be an option. Students assigned an incomplete for a course will be given opportunities to re-engage in the learning standards, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get going. Every class taken during this closure period will also be given a statewide designator on the high school transcript to denote the unique environment in which the course was taken. So based off those guiding principles from OSPI, there are 4 models to consider. The A are incomplete, AB incomplete, ABC incomplete, or the ABCD incomplete. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that we need to consider about each of those models. So kind of first is, why wouldn't we want to consider the AB or incomplete model with that any other ABC or ABCD incomplete models? First, this or any other traditional grading model is simply not equitable, especially given our local access to resources and technology for our students. So this system grades students based on access to those resources. One student receiving the paper pencil version doing as much as they can versus a student doing the bare minimum but still has much more access to learning than the one without are not on equal playing fields. There's also potential for harming a student's grade, because again, based off OSPI's guidelines, we can do no harm to their third quarter grade. So if a student earned an A last quarter, there's potential to harm their grade as a B. So we need to be aware of that harm or potential for harm. Considerations for using the A or incomplete model, and some things we would want to think about and why we should consider it. At the end of this grading period, students who are able to complete their assignments to the extent possible, given their situation, would receive an A. If not, students will receive an incomplete. That cannot engage in an equitable way. Again, Fs are not an option. Traditional ABCD grading would only expand the opportunity gap and lack relevance during this time, because without access to the equalizing force of the school, we would end up grading kids on access to technology, Wi-Fi, food, housing, security, transportation, etc. And we don't want to do that. There's also potential for long-term negative consequences, like college acceptance, scholarships, access to college majors, military. I could go on. There's so many different potential long-term things that would happen if we stuck with the traditional ABCD model. My recommendations for LRHS is that we adopt the A or incomplete model because A or incomplete ensures that students are not penalized because they have fewer advantages at home than other students have. And some of those advantages could be simple as a parent being there to help them or some other resource that would be helping them versus the other that does. Technology, all those things. This would also be aligned with the OSPI's guidance, and it is supported by AWSP, which is the Association of Washington State Principals. Most districts in the state have also adopted the same model of A or incomplete. This does no harm and is equitable for all students. It's a simple and humane solution during an unprecedented time. So what do we do with kids that earn the incomplete? Well, like we've said, like OSPI is giving out the guidance on, it says opportunities to re-engage in the learning standards will be based on district decisions by consulting with the student parent guardians. Opportunities include, but are not limited to, summer school, courses the next year, independent study, competency-based courses, online courses, and then or backfilling the incomplete with a letter grade that's earned in the next course taken in that subject area. So it's the recommendation of myself, Mr. Turner, and our other administrators, along with most teachers and administrators around the state, and again, it's supported by AWSP, that we proceed with the A or incomplete approach to grading based on the do no harm, every student get an opportunity to improve, teachers will assign grades in an equitable way, students assigned an incomplete will have multiple ways to turn that into a grade. So again, please take this with consideration as you fill out your survey. I do value your input. We need your input in order to move forward. So I will give you guys until 3 o'clock today to provide me with your input, and then we're taking this to the school board to hopefully get some decisions made. So again, thank you so much for considering this and watching this video, and I hope every one of you really takes those considerations to heart when making these decisions, because it's not just us that's impacted, it's the futures of our students. Thank you.